Part of this for loop video, we looked at introduction to for loops, and I want us to take that to our next step. So in this case, we took advantage of the range function in Python to print a series of numbers from 1 to 20. But now I want us to create our data set. So this time we are going to use the list, as you learned from the previous section. So I'm going to have a list called countries, and I'm going to populate it with just some few countries. So then I'm gonna have USA, China, Russia, I'm gonna have Brazil, I'm gonna have Australia, and Fiji, and maybe India, and lastly Nigeria. So this is a list consisting of countries. We can run it and confirm that it exactly produces that, and you can see these are our list of countries. So I want to print each and every country that is in this list. So to do that, I can write a for loop. I can say for x in the name of my list, which is countries, and then full colon, enter, it will automatically tab, and then do print, and then I will print x because I'm using x there. And once I do that, it prints each of those countries. Instead of writing x, it's normally advisable that you name your variables sensible names. So I can say for country, and when I do that, I have to change this one to here, print, and it's gonna print exactly that. So that is to print the countries. We can sometimes, let's say numbers, perform operations, because we say basically for loops execute a block of code that is under the loop. So anything that is indented in here is under the loop. So let me have a series of a list of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next thing I'm gonna do is to multiply each of these numbers by 10, so that at the end of the day you have 10, have 20, 30, 40, and 50. So once I do that, I can do that using a loop for n for numbers in numbers. Then I want to do, let's say, addition. Let me create a variable called addition equal to n. So each of these numbers, so n is each of these or iterations times 10. That is what I want to perform, and then print the number which is given by addition here. So what I'm telling my Python code is go to this list here and iterate each of those lists, each of the items in the list, and then whenever you do that, multiply it by 10, and then save that to a variable name called addition, and then print that addition. And that is exactly what our code is gonna do. So at the end of the day, we should have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So when I run that, print addition for n here in, forgot to do that. So for n in numbers, and then once I run, you can see it has multiplied each of those numbers. I can equally multiply it by 100. You can see it's going to change to 100. Instead of doing that, I can divide by 100, and it's going to do that exactly. So this is the power of a loop. It will allow you, can allow you to iterate over thousands of data points, and this is going to be very, very important skill when you start getting into data analytics. So that marks the end of for loops. In the next section, we are going to use for loops and combine them with conditions to perform really, really cool stuff.